Hey everyone, in this video, I'm going to evaluate Uber stock and make a stock price prediction for where I think Uber's share price will be by the end of next year, by the end of 2026. So to make this stock price prediction, I'll use several estimates and assumptions, but I'll share with you precisely where I'm getting that information from and the figures I'm using in my estimates so you can see my evaluation and my prediction and determine for yourself if I'm using an estimate that's too optimistic, too pessimistic, or right on point. So let's take a look. But before I make that stock price prediction, let me thank the sponsor of this video, Fiscal.ai, formerly FinChat. Anyone watching this video using the link in my description will automatically get 15% off any subscription at Fiscal.ai. I use their services for almost all of my data needs right now. I like how their services have segment information, KPIs not available anywhere else. And I like how they update their information relatively quickly when companies issue new quarterly financial statements. They help save me tons of time in conducting financial analysis. So like I mentioned, I'm using Fiscal AI here, and what I'm getting right here is the company's Uber's 2027 earnings per share estimate. So according to the analysts on Wall Street that are following Uber, they believe that Uber will deliver $4.18 in earnings per share in 2027. The reason I'm using the 2027 earnings per share estimate is because I'm going to use the forward price to earnings ratio, the 1 year forward price to earnings ratio. And so when I'm making a stock price prediction for 2026, I need the earnings per share estimate for 2027 and apply the forward price to earnings ratio in combination with the earnings per share estimate for 2027. So speaking of that forward price to earnings ratio, again at Fiscal.ai for these charts, the forward PE for Uber right now is 29.35. You can see the company's valuation has declined considerably over the last 2 years, most notably because of how successful Tesla has been at promoting its driverless car technology. Even before the company has any driverless car revenue, Tesla has been great at promoting the potential of this product to investors worldwide. And investors have almost become convinced that Tesla will achieve this technology relatively quickly, scale it out relatively quickly, and dominate the rideshare business that Uber now dominates. And so, for that reason, Uber's share price has collapsed and well, I shouldn't say share price, but Uber's valuation has collapsed to trade at the lowest levels going back for a few years. And it's all because investors now view Uber as a risky investment because they believe that Uber may lose out a large share of its business when Tesla eventually develops that driverless car technology. So that's why you're able to buy Uber at such low valuations today. Okay, so now that we've pulled in the information we need to make the stock price prediction, what I have here is 4 different scenarios I've considered in making my stock price prediction. So what I have here, the $4.18, is the earnings per share estimate according to Wall Street Analyst. That's aggregated by Fiscal.ai, and the forward price to earnings ratio of 29.35, which is the current forward PE that Uber trades for. So if everything remains the same, there's no changes, Uber progresses to deliver those earnings per share estimates in 2027, then the stock price could be $122 or $123 by the end of next year. Now, that's a very nice upside compared to the current market price for Uber at $84.76. But if Uber's forward PE were to increase to 32, the share price could rise all the way up to $134 a share. If Uber's forward PE were to increase to 35, then the stock price could rise to as high as $146 a share. However, there is downside here, and I have highlighted that there is risk with Uber, and the biggest risk is Tesla's development of driverless car technology, a risk that I see as overestimated right now. The estimates from all investors worldwide, in my opinion, is overestimating the probability of Tesla's success. And if Tesla does indeed deliver what they've said they're going to deliver in terms of robotaxi, then Uber's share price or Uber's valuation will likely decline in that event. And if Uber's forward PE declines to 22, then the share price could still rise to $92 a share. So even in the event where Uber's forward price to earnings declines from 29 all the way down to 22, the share price could still rise to $92 a share by the end of next year. That's how much the probabilities of Tesla's success is already priced into Uber's valuation right now. So Tesla would have to, in my opinion, not only deliver what they've promised, but they would need to exceed those expectations in order for Uber's share price, in my opinion, to experience a significant uh, revaluation to the downside, because so much of the positive aspects of Tesla's driverless car technology are already priced in by so many investors. So, in my opinion, like I mentioned, I think those estimates are overblown. I think Tesla will eventually develop driverless car technology, but it will be less than what is forecasted, meaning that it won't be as effective as forecasted. It won't be able to be deployed in as many locations as is forecasted. It won't be able to be deployed in as many weather conditions as is currently forecasted. It may not even be able to be deployed in certain hours of the day, in certain segments of the roads or across the regions that it's estimating to be deployed in. And so, all those things being considered, I think there will still be a reasonably large share of the market available to Uber even after Tesla develops its driverless cars. And then we still don't know for certain if Tesla will indeed go into this market alone without partnerships, especially without partnering with Uber. Even though Tesla has said they're not going to partner with Uber, they still might partner with Uber after they realize what the cost will be to acquire those customers into its rideshare business. So there's a lot of uncertainty here, and I think a lot of that uncertainty is already pricing negatively into Uber's share price. And I felt starting in 2025, really, even the middle of last year, I felt like that's created a great opportunity for Uber stock investors. I rated Uber as the best stock to buy here in 2025 because of those factors I discussed already in this video. And I bought Uber shares for my own portfolio, not at the start of 2025, but about a month and a half, 2.5 months into 2025, I bought Uber shares for my own portfolio. So, in my opinion, for Uber stock investors to make a great return on investment, Uber doesn't need to do very much. Uber just needs to go forward the way it's been going forward. Doesn't need to do anything spectacular. It just needs to count on the fact that developing driverless car technology will be extremely difficult. And after developing that technology, to capture a large share of the market it's already captured will also be difficult. So Uber just needs to move forward, defend itself against the threat of driverless car technology by partnering with other companies like Google's Waymo and others around the world, and defend itself against the encroachment from Tesla when or if it eventually develops that driverless car technology, and mitigate that risk. So long as it does that, I think Uber shareholders, including myself, will earn a good return on investment. So, specifically, where do I think Uber's share price will be by the end of 2026? Well, I've already updated this number for my channel members that have access to my spreadsheets. And if you want to get access to these spreadsheets, you need to join as a channel member at the investor tier or above. So I've updated that today on June 17th, and I've made my price prediction for Uber. Where do I think the share price will be by the end of 2026? And I think it's between $126 a share and $145 a share, where I think Uber will end up by the end of next year. So I'm curious if you think that this is a reasonable estimate, if you think it's too high or too low. And I'm even more interested in hearing about your reasoning for why you think it's too high, too low, or right on point. Do you think I'm underestimating the risk from Tesla, or do you think I should be maybe even creating a higher price prediction for Uber given the success of Uber's business and the success of the convenience advantage it adds to users worldwide? So I'm curious to read your comments. Leave them in the comment section below.
Thank you for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. I know there's a lot you could be doing with your time and a lot of other videos you could be watching. So I truly appreciate that you chose to watch this one. If you want to see more videos just like this, hit the subscribe or the like button. They'll both help me make more videos just like this one. Thank you again.